Good morning and welcome to THURINGOWA Bowls Club for the 2025 Gallavanta Travel Dunn Cup. An absolutely glorious morning here this morning, and we'd just like to thank our sponsors, which are Gallavanta Travel, Hutchison Builders, Lexmar Training, Signs of Excellence, Muddy's Kitchen, Katharinga Rhinos, and not forgetting North Queensland District Men's Bowls Association. We are a little bit late starting this morning because we've had a few technical issues, but everything's back online now, so we'd like to welcome everybody here. And first I'd like to start off welcoming Travel. Good morning.
Yeah. Cup. Yeah. 50.
Sun shining, no sign of any rain around, so we're keeping our fingers crossed that the weather holds out well and truly. This game we're televising this morning is between THURINGOWA and INGHAM, long-standing foes. Usually go fairly well head-to-head with each other this morning. THURINGOWA's team is Jimmy Seymour leading up, Peter Martin playing number 2, Kenny Day is the 3rd, and Fergie Watson is skipping. And for INGHAM we have John DeBella leading, Jason Harrop playing 2, Frank Pallanza playing 3, and Phil Kite playing as skip. We have had a little bit of a blowout with the scores at this stage. THURINGOWA's got away to a fairly healthy start and leading 12-2 after 5 ends. So things are looking fairly good for them at the moment. Liam, you've been getting an education in playing the game out there, I see.
Yes, yeah, I have. Continuing to learn lots about the tactics. I'm still, a novice in this, in bowls, so I'm just taking it all and soaking in what I can.
So we can expect to see you out in the green in a year or two.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting closer to to getting out there, absolutely.
And again, we'd specifically like to thank Gallavanta Travel for their naming rights sponsorship. As Liam said, this is the 5th year they've been with us, and we hope to have an association with them for a few more years yet. It's been good for us, and hopefully it's been good for Gallavanta Travel as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's one of our core values is supporting the communities that we're in, and this is a small showing of that.
So what's the big thrust with Gallavanta Travel at the moment?
For us, it's all about fulfilling those different parts of travel that aren't exactly offered by your bigger brands. We're locally owned, we're family run, and we've been in our community for 35 years through Rockhampton, Mackay and Townsville. So we're really pushing at the moment for our charters, firstly out of Egypt in September, and then also that we've taken a full ship up in the Mediterranean in September for 2026. So both will be amazing holidays.
Yeah, well, the Egypt one, I can speak on that. Having just recently come back from that trip, it was absolutely magnificent. Everything was found. There was no issues with anything. 5-star holiday it was, really. It was really up there as a 5-star holiday. All the accommodation was top-notch. The vessel we sailed the Nile on was absolutely magnificent. And it's one of those bucket list trips. And I know my wife had been wanting to go to Egypt for lots of years, and we'd never ever thought we would get there, but through Gallavanta, you made it very easy for us and possible to go.
I appreciate the kind words there, Ron. And as you said, Egypt is one of those places that if it's not on your bucket list, it needs to go on there. And how Viking, manage the trip, and we just go and add our little bit of service there as well, to hopefully enhance the experience and make sure that it is that bucket list. But what a lot of learning you do over there, and and putting all the pieces together. It's apparently the pyramids weren't built by aliens, but that's up for debate as well.
Yeah, I debate that one. It was certainly an eye opener. The whole trip, from the pyramids to the Sphinx, then to going to the Valley of the Kings, absolutely mind-boggling. And how they were able to achieve that back in those days, I'm not too sure. I'm a little bit different to you. I'm a bit like your stepfather-in-law, who firmly believes it was the aliens that did it.
And that's fair enough. Yeah, it's incredible. Is the point I think we're trying to make? Is it's just something that it does take a bit to wrap your head around.
Well, it certainly does. But every day was an absolute adventure, something different, something new, and it was fully escorted by Galavanta. The owner of Galavanta, Debbie Rains, and her husband Greg, they were our escorts for the entire trip and made it very, very comfortable for everybody and made sure everybody was enjoying themselves and seeing and doing what they wanted to do, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other thing I'd like to specifically mention, you're doing the exact same trip in September.
Yep.
I believe there are still a few slots available for people to hook into. And I can understand, having spoken to some people since we came back, the first question was, why Egypt? Well, why not Egypt to start with? It's one of those spectacular countries. Then the next question invariably that gets asked is, isn't it dangerous over there? And I can say from first hand, no, definitely not. At no stage did any of us on the trip feel in any sort of danger or uncomfortable. You had armed people with you everywhere you went, on the buses, on the vessels. When you were ashore, they were there. Not conspicuous, but they were there, and you felt extremely safe. Possibly because Egypt is one of those countries that is relying extremely heavily on tourism these days. So they go out of their way to make sure that anybody going there on a holiday or touring there is completely safe.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, at the moment, Egypt still depends on tourism, so that's 100% right. And the security isn't a new thing for them. It's been in place for much longer than the recent months. And the point there is that they want to make sure that their guests are looked after and feel comfortable and safe as well. Viking as well. You go into what I describe as the Viking bubble, where they literally look after you from the time you get off the plane all the way through to the time you get back on the plane and get on their ships, their coaches, it's their tour guides, their Egyptologists, and there's a level of service and pride that is obviously shown through because they're clearly looked after and they make sure that their guests are looked after as well. So, I understand, especially after watching the media, the reservations a bit around travelling to that part of the world, but Egypt is its own country, and they make sure of that, and like you, when I went there, I felt completely safe and looked after, and realistically, I just had an amazing time.
Yeah, I agree with you there. It was. I've done a lot of travelling with you, as you're aware, and I regard that trip as possibly the best trip we've ever done. I can recommend it to anybody. If you're even thinking of touring that part of the world, drop in and see Galavanta. They'd be more than happy to sit down and talk to you, explain exactly what it's all about and how you go about it and all the rest of it, and I would definitely recommend it. The other thing that is an advantage doing it through Liam and his company is that everybody on the tour is like-minded. They're all from the North Queensland area.
Absolutely.
You're not mixing in with other groups that might have their own agendas or their own wishes and wants. And it's very easy to to get to know everybody and mix with everybody, and a perfect trip.
Yeah, what we really haven't explained is that we've actually chartered the entire ship, so it's for our clients, it's for, you know, people from North Central Queensland, you know, or you know, a bit further afield there, so you won't be mixing with the wider world population, and yeah, we make sure that, as I say, you're looked after, and you know, as Ron said, I am hosting that one as well, so I'll be there with you as well, and make sure that you have the trip and get the bucket list that you're after.
Yeah, I can only commend Galavanta for the way they approached it all. As Liam said, it was completely hosted by Galavanta, and every little wish was catered for.
We did throw a few little extras in there that you wouldn't normally get as well, so
yeah.
It's all good.
Well, the advantage with that trip, you know, both you and Debbie had been over there prior to taking the main group over, and I know talking to Debbie that they dovetailed a couple of little things in which were more relevant to our wishes and wants than some of the bigger groups.
Small things like tipping is a real cultural it's a part of Egypt, and you know, while Americans may be used to that, for example, we're not. So it's just manipulating the itinerary or the way things work so that it is more for us. Yeah,
and you know, the food was another thing. At no stage did I find myself in a situation where I wasn't particularly keen on the food. The food was absolutely brilliant.
Well, there was a bit of a rumour that you guys got meat pies, or got the chef to make meat pies for you. Or
we actually did on the Viking ship. So because there was a whole group of North Queenslanders, and well, the food was magnificent on the ship, I must admit. But the chef at one stage overheard a few of us talking, and someone happened to mention something about meat pies. So he did an investigation, and he spent 2 or 3 days trying to perfect an Australian meat pie, which he did. You know, it was absolutely brilliant. So that were the sort of things that we were able to obtain.
Yeah, that's something you just don't get the opportunity on sort of your main departures or main groups. Yeah.
No, but so all in all, I would thoroughly recommend anybody thinking about doing that trip to go into Galavanta, speak to Liam or Debbie or one of their very helpful staff, and they can assist in every way that you would want.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, now we better start talking about the bowl.
Absolutely. I was just thinking, just having a look at the score.
We're here for that. So we have THURINGOWA playing INGHAM at the moment, and currently after 7 ends it's 16-2. Now it's 16-5. I think INGHAM just picked up a 3 there by the look of it. As I said earlier, it's an absolutely magnificent morning. It's a light breeze. The actual green itself has been magnificently prepared. As you'll see over the next couple of days, they've gone over and above what would normally be expected in making sure they've got an absolutely magnificent looking surface, and the surrounds are brilliant. Okay, we have John DeBella leading off on this end for INGHAM. I'm sure I saw that they picked up a 3 on that last end. These two teams historically have gone head to head over a lot of years, and it's usually a very hard fought game. Still early in the game, so INGHAM have got every opportunity to come back with a vengeance.
What do we got? And 7 here.
Yeah, this is the 7th end at the moment. So Robbie Edwards. Yes, Charters Towers are here this year. I think they are playing at South Townsville today. We do have another group playing at the South Townsville Club because we're only using 7 rinks on this green, which is not uncommon because every club in the district plays in this event. As I said, it's been going for 83. This is the 83rd year that it's being played.
I was being told 19 teams, is that right?
19 teams, yes.
Yeah, wow. Huge involvement.
To get to this event, historically you are, or the team is the best 4 players in that particular club. That's a sort of debatable point, depending on which side of the fence you're sitting on and whether you think you were in contention to be playing in the side. Nice bowl there from that was Jimmy Seymour holding 2 shots there at the moment. So we had a few technical difficulties to start the day, but Robbie has a little bit of drama. Robbie said he didn't like to call them technical difficulties. Wasn't technical. Okay, that's a beautiful bowl there from John Harrop for INGHAM. There we have Peter Martin from THURINGOWA playing his first bowl. We have been asked this morning, why is THURINGOWA wearing black armbands? Well, sadly, one of the stalwarts of their club, young Peter Day, passed away yesterday, quite suddenly. So in respect, they'll be wearing black armbands, I suspect, all weekend. And from North Queensland District Men's Bowls Association, we would like to send our condolences to the family. A very sad moment, and if there's anything that our district can do to assist at this stage, please get in touch with us and let us know.
Robbie's just answered you. He used to live in Towers or played as a junior, now lives in Darwin.
Okay. Yes, they've got a team together this year, Robbie. So I think they're over at South Townsville. I can't see them here at the moment, so they'll be playing their first game over there this morning. They're back here this afternoon, I assume. Glenn Windle, good morning from Tuncurry. Okay, what is the weather like there, Glenn?
I'll just try and look it up
quickly. And a good morning to Anne Lilly from Dunedin in New Zealand. And he's a regular, Robbie said. Welcome to the live stream and hope you enjoy it. Yes, Shirley, it is a lovely green. It's absolutely an amazing picture this morning. $13 in Tuncurry. Okay. I'd rather be here than down there.
How do INGHAM get back into this one, Ron?
By doing what they're doing at the moment. They may, one shot is to them is one that the other that THURINGOWA don't get, and they keep getting one every end or the occasional 2. They can get back. They did drop a 6 early in the game, which sort of indicated the blowout. But they're both fairly strong teams, these two. It's Kenny Day. His first bowl. So INGHAM still holding 1 shot. By the look of it, I'd say, yeah, it's only 1 shot, I'd say. Robbie's eyes are better than mine. He's more used to the distance between the kitty and the bowls. All right, so you got second shot, do you reckon? Okay, 2 bowls. Yep. Right, what else have you got underway, Liam? Egypt's your main trip at the moment.
Egypt's the main trip. We've got the Cowboys going over to Vegas in, well, starts sort of end of February, and the game's on. I think it's the first weekend of March there. So that's another one we've got advertised at the moment. And then, as I alluded to a bit earlier, we've also got taken another ship. It's a 100-person super yacht, and that's going through the Med. So similar concept to what you were doing in Egypt.
Yep.
Fully hosted by us, and obviously a couple of other little extra perks. But yeah, that'll be sailing around the Med and visiting the coastline of Turkey.
That sounds like a great trip, actually. Yes, we will. Okay, Robbie. Bernie, yes, they are. The THURINGOWA boys have got off to a good start. We're just hoping that they can carry on with it at the moment. David Shaw is watching from Nambour. Morning, David. Okay. John Piotto has corrected us. Leading for INGHAM is Joey DeBella, not John DeBella. Okay. We will correct that. Make sure we haven't got a stranger in there. Okay. Okay, didn't see what the outcome of that was. 2 to THURINGOWA. It takes them to 18-5. So they're maintaining their lead at the moment. For the uninitiated, this tournament, as I said, has been going for 82 years. This is our 83rd year. It was originally conceived in a club just south of Townsville at Home Hill back in 1937. At that stage there were only 5 clubs in the district that were represented. By 1954 the competition had gained more clubs playing in it, and it was split into 2 sections. The winners of each section play off in a final, with the winner hosting the event the following year. That's the big attraction. To win this event, the club that wins it gets to host it on their own playing surface. It's an unusual concept, but it works, and it adds a little bit more spice to each team that's here to try and get that particular goal of playing on their home surface. It is 21 ends. There is no time limit on the game. There cannot be a drawn game in this competition. If at the end of 21 ends the teams are tied, they will play an extra end until they get a result. It was a rule that was changed a few years ago, and has been accepted by all the clubs without too many dramas. The big thing is, if you get a win after a tied game, you'll be given the win, but you get no margin for that game. So it'll be a win with a margin of 0. Same with a loser. It'll be a loss with a margin of 0. Okay. Peter Martin with his first bowl. Okay, Liam's looking at his phone to see if how many responses he's got from our advertising.
No, not at all. I was going to take a quick selfie and then, thank you very much for the opportunity and just say how much we, appreciate the partnership. Good luck to all the teams. It's great to see it grow year on year. Long may this be a really special tournament.
Oh, it will be. It is every year. There's lots of little twists and turns over the few days. And we're looking forward to a great weekend.
There you go. Thanks, Ron.
Thank you very much, Liam. Right. Okay, back to the game. We've got people going in and out everywhere here at the moment. In the middle of a changeover session. THURINGOWA is holding shot at this stage with Jimmy Seymour's lead bowl, the blue bowl, Jack High there. Irene Cheesley, come on boys. Not too sure.
Irene's a member at INGHAM.
Okay,
Club.
so she's pushing for the boys from INGHAM. They're all starting to get in the groove. They're starting to pick up the pace of the green and also the grass. This is an artificial surface, as you can possibly see. I would suspect that's 2 shots to THURINGOWA. Frank Pallanza on the mat now, about to play his bowl. Frank is a stalwart of the Dunn Cup, has been playing Dunn Cup for a lot of years. Cane farmer from the INGHAM district, and a great supporter of bowls in North Queensland.
Nickname of Cyclone.
And we may get the opportunity to see why he's got that nickname at some stage during this game. So I can't see INGHAM allowing THURINGOWA to keep playing the way they are. They'll try and change it up in some form, and Frank's just the sort of person that can do that. He has a very mean drive on him. So THURINGOWA now with, that was my fault, Michael. I'd like to welcome, sorry about that, I'd like to welcome Michael Blake, President of North Queensland District Men's Bowls Association, to the commentary team this morning.
Thank you, Ron.
Everything looks as if it's going well for us at the moment.
We've had a beautiful start. The weather's sensational. Not an edge in the air, but it's cool. A bit of a breeze and very clear conditions.
So we're looking very sternly at the head. Nobody's prepared to call it. So we've obviously got 2 bowls very close there.
Frank's agreeing.
Frank's agreeing. Yeah. Frank is one of the characters of Dunn Cup. So he's been playing Dunn Cups for a lot of years.
It's a little bit like I said in the opening this morning. The Dunn Cup has almost a life of its own, and there's characters. There's a whole lot of traditions and a whole lot of background that is a big part of this event.
Oh, that's right. And there's been very, very few changes to the conditions of play or the circumstances of Dunn Cup over the years. To give an example of that, in the last 20 years, we've only had 2 changes to the rules in Dunn Cup. The clubs determine the changes. The district administration doesn't. The clubs make that decision at the AGMs. And the 2 changes, one was many years ago allowing shorts to be worn.
We worked that out. We think it's 11 years ago.
11 years ago. Prior to that, you were not allowed to wear shorts. You had to wear long trousers. And we had a member of South Townsville Bowls Club who was a judge, and he never wore trousers when he's playing bowls.
You mean he only wore shorts, Ron?
No, he never wore trousers.
Yeah,
No.
but he wore shorts.
He wore shorts, yes. He did wear shorts. It's been a long morning already. Anyway, so that rule was changed. And then a few years ago, the other rule was regarding drawn match. Prior to that, we used to have tied matches or drawn matches. And the feeling with all the clubs was that it was a waste of a game.
We're playing a no time limit game. Why don't we spend the extra time finding a decision?
That's right. So
now when it's a draw, we keep playing extra ends until a win or a loss is achieved, and then you get the win or the loss, but with no margin.
Okay. Irene Gregg. I am watching in Edinburgh, Scotland. Great.
Welcome, Irene.
Welcome to our live stream. I hope you're enjoying it. So we were a little bit late starting this morning. We're still trying to get our head around some of what's been happening.
All right, we're about to find out whether this is a win to Ingham or a win to THURINGOWA. Looks like it's Ingham.
Ingham, I would say.
This angle probably didn't do that justice.
That's right, yeah. So that takes Ingham on to 6 ends, 6 to 18 after 9 ends. So what's been happening with our local district regarding bowls, Michael?
We've had a fairly interrupted first half of the year. A lot of people would be aware of a lot of flooding and weather events happening through North Queensland earlier in the year, and that changed our situation with playing events at different times. So we've had to reschedule 2 of our events and then change venues for one of them due to a range of different things that have affected that. We're always competing against other events in the district, and we've had opportunities to get that all sorted. And next weekend is our pairs and pairs championship, and that'll get us all back on level footing for where we were hoping to be
Yes.
about a month ago.
Yeah, that's right. It's been pretty much a catch-up year all year since as Michael said, the weather event we had in the beginning of the year. Good morning, Brian Marshall, President of Bowls Queensland. How are you this morning, Brian?
Morning, Brian. Hopefully we're keeping up the standard that the guys down south put forward.
Okay. Well, Phil Kite called for the kiddie measure because he didn't think it was quite far enough. It is right.
Can't be by much.
No, it wasn't by much.
I think it was about 100 mil.
Okay, so Joey DeBella about to play his first bowl.
We've you gone into much of the story of the Dunn Cup?
Not as yet, Michael. I was going to leave that to you. You're the historian. You're one of our local headmasters or principals of.
So I pulled up some information a couple of years back that now departed Sam Oates put together. Sam was a stalwart of the district and a long-term Dunn Cup player, and up to 2019 was when Sam put this together. And just to sub-edit it, so Sam said, "I've compiled all the official history I can gather, quotes from the Townsville Bulletin and a Home Hill Observer. I've enjoyed what I've done, and I hope this will contribute to the story of the Dunn Cup." And thank you to Sam for his forethought at that stage, because I don't know how we would have got all of this information now, even half a dozen or so years later. It's a huge amount of effort. So it started with Thomas Dunn, who came to Queensland in 1903 and Worked in Mackay and moved up to the Burdekin district around Ayr and worked in the mills. And in 1937, he organised for the first Dunn Cup to be played. And it started off with the representative of 5 clubs: Ayr, Home Hill, Collinsville, Townsville and Suburban. And it was played on New Year's Day. One of the other interesting things with the Dunn Cup, it's been played at various times of the year. This time of the year has probably been the most regular, particularly in the last 20 or 30 years. But there's been a range of different times that it's been played to try and find what the right time of the year is, to fit in with various events that are being played at other times. And so it's been going
82 years.
82 years. This is the 83rd year it's been played, but actually, obviously going a bit longer than that, it wasn't played over the war years. And in that time, there are some standout performances. So INGHAM Bowls Club, who are playing on the live rink at the moment, have a very big part to play in the history of this event. They had a player who I hope's listening in, Ren Cantatori, commonly referred to around as the Dunn Cup King. Played 49 Dunn Cups and won 17 times, and 6 times was runner-up. Ren didn't like being runner-up. He was very big on winning. Very, very competitive bowler, represented Queensland.
Yes, he did.
21 of those 49 cups, he was the skip of the team. I can't see anyone in the foreseeable future achieving that record. We've probably got one player who will give it a nudge if he hangs around in North Queensland long enough, will be Justin Cribben. He's probably the most likely player to achieve that, anywhere near that record.
Yeah, because Justin's still under 25 at the moment, I think.
Just and
under
I think he
25.
started when he was about 10.
Yep.
For his first one, so
He was possibly the youngest bowler to ever play Dunn Cup. I can't recall anybody that would have been played Dunn Cup as young as Justin.
no, I think the young kid from Guru one year, but I think he was 12.
Yeah, that could be. You could be right there.
I think Justin would have been younger. So yeah, that's huge. The next so INGHAM have had 19 wins, and Jubilee have had 13. So
Jubilee have always been a very, very strong competitive team in this event.
Yep.
It's been shared around pretty much with everybody over the years. A couple of the smaller clubs, perhaps like Guru, I don't think has ever won the Dunn Cup. They'd be one of the few that would never have won it. Collinsville, which is south of us, have never won it. Bowen have, Richmond have,
Noola have.
Hughenden has never won it. Again, that's a small town out west of Townsville.
McNaid haven't won it.
McNaid haven't won it. Well,
Brandon have.
yes.
Home Hill have.
Alligator Creek, which is a very small club just south of Townsville, they won it 3 years ago. So across the board, it's been shared around a fair bit. So, as Michael said, INGHAM have won more Dunn Cups than any other club in the district, and they were always a very strong team to play against. So with our Dunn Cup King Ren Cantatori, everybody disliked intensely playing against Bryn. Not because he wasn't a nice person, he was an absolute gentleman, but because of his bowling ability, he could play every shot in the book to perfection.
And he was never out of the game.
Never, ever out of the game.
Welcome, Susan, in your poon.
Okay.
So that's good. We've got a wide cross-section of viewing areas
this morning, yep.
from across the world.
And so this is the first game of the competition. It goes for 4 days. We play 2 games today.
It's a true test of stamina.
Yep. Friday and Saturday play 3 games each day, and we're always guaranteed of playing well into the night for the 3rd game. We usually find most times the 3rd game won't start till 5 o'clock, 5:30 of an evening. And then on Sunday, we just have the final round, and then go to the finals in the afternoon.
And the final goes out to 25 ends with no time limit.
That's right.
So it's a late finish as well.
So we usually find by the Sunday morning, a lot of our bowlers are very bleary-eyed and tired and feeling quite sore.
The current trend towards artificial greens is probably one of the negatives of them, is when you've got to play a long tournament like this, is the toll it takes on your legs. The grass greens are just a little bit more forgiving in that area. When you're standing up on the artificial ones, you feel it after a couple of days.
Bruce Kirk, good morning. Yes, we're really looking forward to this tournament. So it's the ultimate tournament for our district, and virtually every bowler in the district aims to represent in the Dunn Cup. Unfortunately, a lot of us never get there. As I explained earlier, it's the selection of the teams is up to the club, and they invariably pick who they feel are their 4 strongest players.
And invariably, there are people who are miffed that they've been left out.
We see that every year. Two nice bowls from Jimmy Seymour, giving them another good start. Currently 18-8 after 11 ends.
Jason Harrop on the mat. This is Jason's first Dunn Cup. He's only been bowling for a couple of years.
He's on a good track here. It's just a great bowl.
Excellent bowl.
Excellent bowl.
Okay.
So Fergie Watson is the skip for THURINGOWA, and
Peter Martin
is
playing
second now with his first bowl.
It's the first chance I've actually had to sit and watch the bowls. Just finishing off all of the little bits and pieces that I need to do before I convert completely to just being a player.
Yes, and that's, once you finish this morning, Michael, that's your prime responsibility for the next 3 days.
It's really good. We've got plenty of people who've got their hand up and taking on roles and responsibilities for me, and including the Facebook this year. I've got Kay O'Sullivan is looking after the Facebook and the electronic scoring, so those will go up after every round on our Facebook page, and then also any spectators that are watching here or over at South Townsville, if they want to post scores through the games in the comments, you're welcome to do so. Hello, Jan Nigel. I'm guessing that might be Jan, given that it's a come on Ingham.
Yes, Definitely from Jan and Nigel Craven.
Jan's at Ingham and Nigel's at Noola. So
Nice family rivalry there, Michael.
yep. Town rivalry.
Town rivalry, that's right.
The Herbert River area up around Ingham is a very tight community. Everybody knows everybody, but when you've got your sporting rivalries within the town, friends become foe very quickly.
Especially in that part of the world. Frank with his first bowl. Frank Pallanza. Second bowl.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, well, Ingham's currently holding shot, I would say, on this particular end. Kenny Day, I think he's going to be just underdone a little bit. Okay.
Might have got a result.
Might have got a result.
Maybe no, still down.
no.
Fergie's not happy.
Yeah, Fergie's definitely not happy.
Oh, good morning, Carla. Thank you very much.
Sad news is, Carla, he'll need all the luck he can get.
No luck involved in
No
bowls.
luck involved with bowls, no.
Hard work. Come in and get all set up and organised this morning, get the competition underway, get the bye first round, which was welcome with all the bits and pieces that we're putting in place, and then come out and play our first game straight up on the live streaming. So only a little bit of pressure.
No pressure at all, Michael. The only pressure that's there is of your own making. It's filled with a nice-looking bowl coming in here as well.
For second, that's two shots.
That's possibly the shot, that one, I would say. Yep, definitely the shot.
Did Kenny just indicate 4 down?
I'm just having a look. It could be 4 down.
Fergie's coming in with a bit of weight here. Oh, got the front one out.
Right one.
He might have just been saying come in this way. Not sure.
He could well be still 3 down there. That blue bowl of Jimmy Seymour's.
The closest, so the green one out the front could count.
Could count, yeah.
If we had a side-on view, we might be able to tell.
You have. The top of your
Oh,
screen.
the top. Thanks, Robbie. Excellent work.
Okay, Phil was, I suspect, going for
The good thing with Robbie,
cover.
he gets things organised before you even know you need it yourself.
That's right. Just as well you weren't here an hour ago. The beads of perspiration dripping off his chin. Saying,
was that beads of perspiration or gravy from the meat pie?
No, it was beads of perspiration. I kept hearing me saying, "Why isn't this working? Tony, what's happening?"
He's very lucky. He's got his daughter Tony here helping him. So all the big decisions she's sorting him out on.
Tony nodding her head, saying, "Yeah, you're so right." It's Fergie.
This is fairly good here from Fergie. He's got the jack and might have got one out of it.
Got one out of it. Yes. Frank's not going to give anything away.
All right. Our angle, I would have thought the yellow.
Yeah, it's a bit
but the angles can be deceiving.
Bit deceiving when you get.
So it's the yellow or the one at the front.
Oh, the little kick in the tape there. That's an old trick. Finger under the tape.
Frank was hoping he'd be able to get that without getting down, I think, then.
Yes. Aha.
Got a result out of it?
Yes. So they're still wandering around.
Morning, Alan and the boys. You guys at the club watching this?
Okay. Called the umpire.
Too close.
While we're waiting for the measure, just another thank you to our sponsors. Gallivanter Travel, Hutchinson Builders, Lexmar Training, Signs of Excellence, Muddy's Kitchen, Cutharinga Rhinos, and North Queensland District Men's Bowls Association. Yeah, work you're doing for us to get this event up and running.
It's just impossible to run events like this without support of sponsors.
We do need it these days, especially in regional areas like this. We don't have the number of members in our clubs that perhaps the southeast corner has, and we don't have the same resources with sponsors either. So anytime we're able to get sponsorship, we're most appreciative of it.
So,
and as Michael said, we couldn't run these events without the sponsorship and without the volunteers.
Telescopic measure doesn't lie. Yellow ball is in.
So Ingham got the shot there. So it takes them to 9. After 12 ends, THURINGOWA 18, Ingham 9. So Ingham are starting to come back. They've still got 9 ends to play. So they've got plenty of time to get themselves well and truly back in this game.
Vince, we're just directly in line with all the scoreboards, so it's very hard for us to see any scoreboards. What we're hoping is that people who are watching may be able to update those scores in the comments on Facebook.
As the day progresses, we'll
try and organise some runners. Actually, if you want to give Peter a quick yell there, Michael, he might be able to do a run along with the rinks for us. Okay, Joey DeBella leading up with his first bowl. He's got a nice line on it. Collected it.
Went with it to a certain extent. We might need that. Yeah, the kitty just ran back a little bit. Okay.
Zoom out and pan down.
Jimmy Seymour's first bowl. It's just got run through a fraction. So I would say
Joey's holding
Joe's
shot still.
Definitely holding shot there. Okay, I don't think he's going to come back from out there.
So this
weight.
Number 1 rink is playing quite well. It just on the ditch side just holds a little bit.
Especially if you just take that little bit of extra grass.
If you're just off the line, it holds. And also with a little bit of weight, it holds. That's a pretty good bowl.
Yeah. That
should be shot.
It's consistent.
No. Still shot with the front bowl.
With the front bowl, yes.
That's very deceiving.
It can be with the distance, Michael. You quite often don't realise just how far some of these bowls are away.
That'll be the shot.
Yep.
The front one probably doesn't count anymore.
Nice bowl there from Jason. So it's only 1 for Ingham. Back bowler Jimmy's would be second shot. It's Peter Martin with his first bowl. He's going to be a bit tight. He's going to just...
Oh,
okay. We've seen.
What are you saying, Ron?
We've seen the, the first of it for the weekend.
I'll keep that in mind for when we're playing later.
Yeah. That is one of the things you do strike with artificial greens.
A little bit more so, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, that ball was definitely heading across the head. But, another nice bowl here from Jason.
It's probably made it better. Made it a bit easier to sit the red now.
Yeah, Fergie wants him on his forehand.
It's probably a metre-ish out to that front bowl of Joey DeBella's. And on this hand, it's fairly wide draw, so it should come back around it. But this one
is not going to
go right through it.
Through it.
Ooh.
I think you'll find that's a reasonable distance short there, Michael.
Yep. Still one down. Phil just indicated. A really good shot here would be to sit that red through the gap. It'd probably make 4.
No, he's
just going to drop underneath.
He's definitely cut his grass.
Weight was pretty good.
Ross Cribben, thanks Ross. Jubilee is 22-0 up after 11 ends. Okay.
I think they're playing Wangaratta from what I can see here.
Yes, looks like it. A little bit of a one-sided game there. Kenny Days just run through.
How does a bowl get through like that?
Well,
holes are made for bowls. One of the sayings in bowls.
Joe's bowl's possibly further behind the kitty than we realise.
So that's 2 down. I'm not sure that Ken thought he was going to get shot that way.
Well, Frank's showing why he's called Cyclone.
Oh, that wasn't a cyclone effort.
No, it wasn't full-blooded, but
no.
He was serious about it.
Frank's known for seriously winding up. Fair bit of heat on the bowl when he lets them go.
And usually throws himself off the mat. It's Kenny Day with his second bowl. He's got good weight by the look of it. No, he's just...
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Thuringowa is now holding one shot.
3 or 2, sorry, I reckon. Or is it?
I wouldn't be.
Is that Frank's out the front? The blue tone one might be Frank's in front.
Could be.
Okay, so 1. Kenny's back playing serious bowls now for the last year or 2.
Yeah, Kenny
he had a bit of a break there for a while.
Had a bit of a break, but now he's retired. He's
playing regularly.
Playing extremely regularly and playing good bowls. Club level, he's one of the movers and shakers at Thuringowa at the moment.
When I started playing 20 odd years ago, he was one of the first people I encountered on the bowls green, I think, in district events.
It's Phil's first. That took a little bit of a straighten too. Vincent George, obviously a staunch Jubilee supporter. Let's go Jubilee. We in the commentary box here are completely unbiased while we're sitting in here.
He in the commentary box is unbiased. If I'm in the commentary box, I'm barracking for McNade. if I'm in the commentary box, we're not playing.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh dear. It's all.
It's all good fun.
It is. Ron, Phil's on a run here.
He's got it.
He's
all
got
the
it.
way.
Oh, took
it out cleanly.
Clean.
Took it out cleanly. Brilliant drive by Phil. Well, it wasn't a full-blooded. Again, it wasn't a full-blooded drive. It was just a very firm on-shot.
So
It's all up to Fergie now. I think he might have forgotten something, has he? Yeah, he's not.
yeah, no, it's
not-
turning
not
under
here.
by the look of it, unless it gets a straightener.
No.
Not quite.
Okay. It's one.
One, and they're going to measure it.
Well, Ingham certainly.
Right.
Did we see what Frank did? Looks like it was two.
Yeah, interesting. They were going to measure and then they didn't.
Yeah.
So whether Ken conceded two or Frank agreed it was only one, I'm not sure what happened.
What we do know is they played 13 ends.
21, so nearly 2/3 of the way through the
But look at that,
game.
there's only one. It's 10-18. Only the one shot in that. So Frank obviously conceded.
Yep.
Great attempt there from Joey. Jimmy Seymour's first bowl. It'll kick back in, not as much as he would have liked it to. It's good weight. Joey's second bowl. A better line this time.
Just a touch heavy.
Yep, that's all. I must admit I'm a little bit surprised at the way this green is running on, because it was initially never quite like that.
No, we played. Oh, I've got another story I can tell here in a minute. We played a day of pennants here
Great bowl there from
a
Jimmy
couple of weeks
Seymour.
ago, and could not fault the green. It played beautifully.
Yeah, the reports of this green have been exceptionally good. And when we go back to 2022, we were playing on a grass green here, and
Or was it a sand pit?
well, there was grass on it.
There was grass in places.
We were playing the opposite direction on what was then called the infamous Rink 8,
Yep.
and
Basically running across where where the Ingham and THURINGOWA guys are all standing there now.
yeah,
It was running that rink at that end
and it
in
was
the opposite direction.
an absolute horrible rink.
Yes.
It kept us in stitches all weekend, watching what the bowls were doing on that particular rink.
And terrorised the bowlers.
Definitely terrorised
Me
the
included.
bowlers.
I think we had the first game on the TV rink that year, and
Great bowl here.
great
from
bowl from Jason.
Jason, yes.
Yeah, we had the first game on the live streaming, and what was initially thought to be bad bowling was soon understood to be
the norm for the weekend.
It didn't change much. Everybody struggled on this rink. But on the afternoon after the Dunn Cup, Bruce Warwick came in and did core samples, and they very soon after that installed the artificial green. Dug out, I believe it was 500 mil of subsoil.
They pulled a lot out
down and put in a whole new base and put this in, and even in its early stages had some teething problems, but the greenkeeper here now has put in the extra effort that was probably required to get it up to scratch, and it's now playing very nicely.
It's Kenny Day with his...
He's forgotten something too.
Forgotten something. So, we see Ingham on a comeback trail here.
Yes, Irene Cheesley's just noted slowly but surely.
Surely, that's right. I think I mentioned that earlier in the piece. There was plenty of time for Ingham to work their way back into the game. So THURINGOWA did get away to a flying start. Okay, Kenny Day with his second bowl.
It's finished in a good spot.
Good spot, yep.
He needs a little nudge on that green bowl and Giddy will come back.
So it's only one down to THURINGOWA, where Ingham a holding shot.
Yeah.
As I said earlier, Michael, this club and the environs of this club are an absolute credit to Katharinga and to Glenn Atfield, their long-standing, long-term president, and their members.
He doesn't stand for long anymore.
No.
He sits down a lot.
He sits down a lot, yeah.
No, they've since that last Dunn Cup here when it was a grass green, they actually had two greens.
Yep.
They've sold off one. There's now a little shopping precinct on the other one, and all the effort's gone into maintaining one green, which in many cases up here, sadly at the moment, we've got a declining bowls membership, and we've got to keep finding ways to build that. And I guess by concentrating your efforts onto one green, making that better and more usable and more friendly to people, that's one way to keep people playing and possibly more likely to attract people.
Yes, we're finding, especially in our district, a lot of the clubs are having to resort to becoming social sports clubs to maintain their existence. Because as we know, bowls in itself will never keep a club alive financially.
No.
You need a lot of input from outside of that environment.
So whether that's darts or pool or dancing or any number of alternative events, activities, you've got to keep a range of things for.
You've got to maintain a good, healthy
for the local community
social membership.
Yep.
To survive successfully.
So there's another shot for Ingham.
Right.
So at this rate,
8 ends to go and 7 shots down.
7 ends to go.
7 ends to go. 14 ends.
7 shots. So if they keep going at one an end, we'll have a playoff for the draw.
Yes.
Be lovely to have that first up on the live stream rink.
Well, I doubt if the players would think that.
They'll be late for lunch.
Okay, Joey with his with the first lead bowl. He's hanging out a bit wide, and as we said earlier, you get out. Although it's still coming in, but
Coming back, it was just probably more, it was a little bit heavy.
Yeah.
That jack high wouldn't be too bad a bowl.
Oh, you're easy pleased.
If I was playing skip and I had the leads bowls that close all the time, I'd be at jack high. I think I was doing reasonably well.
So we may find the green is changing a little bit too, because it was watered substantially this morning.
So it plays a lot truer while it's wet.
Yeah.
Um,
It'll be starting to dry out now.
and as it dries out, you start to get a few little runs, and then once it's dry, it sets up its whole new
That's right. Well,
persona.
You can see by the slight different shadings of green there that there are patches that's drying out.
Yep.
And that'll increase as the day goes on.
And viewers may see bowls track and do different things on those patches as they become more prominent, or in the changes between. So that one just kicked a little bit as it came into the wet.
It's possibly a good metre in front, maybe a bit more for Kitty. Jason with his first bowl. He's got a little bit of weight on this, and he's got a fairly healthy looking bowl here. He's just run through. So I was saying earlier, Michael, that there is a fair bit of finish on these bowls.
Yes.
With this green.
On both sides.
Yeah.
I think at ground level, and I mean right down on the green surface, I don't think there's a lot of wind effect, particularly on this rink where it's very sheltered from the buildings.
Yeah.
And so it's just allowed to, the bowls are just allowed to finish naturally.
Well, although there is a section of this rink and number 2 rink also that's affected by a breezeway between where we are and the actual clubhouse. And if the wind's coming from that direction, it can really have a major effect on what happens halfway up the green, or 2/3 of the way up the green.
And it doesn't have to be a strong breeze to get that effect, because it funnels through. But when this other green was here and the whole area was open apart from the clubhouse end,
very wind
you could have wind coming from both sides on different sides of the green. On each side of the green had wind from different directions.
That's right. Okay, so Ingham's holding shot at the moment. Kenny Day with his first or second bowl.
Like it's holding nicely.
He's holding, but he's
just dropped.
Dropping the weight.
Weight was probably not bad. It was just in the end the line was just a bit touch under.
Yeah, he missed that little track.
Frank Pallanza bowling. Probably pretty close to the same track.
Yep. Almost identical bowl.
Yep.
So Fergie's trying to get something behind. He's a bit concerned that there's nothing behind. It's Kenny Day with that little straightener again.
Yeah.
It's not much of a straightener, but it definitely affects it. Well, that should make Fergie a little bit happier. He's got something behind now. But you don't know whereabouts on the green that is at the moment.
I just had a look out the door.
Oh, okay.
It's just near that first line coming across from rink 2.
So slowly but surely, we've got a real game on our hands here.
And that's the beauty of games, of these games, where you're playing 21 ends and no time limit.
Yep.
You've got time to think through what you're doing, and you're not under that extra pressure of time.
Or constraints of time, yes, that's right. Okay. Phil was into the front of the pack. Fergie now on his backhand. He's got a bit of weight on this. Oh, okay. Well, he's definitely got...
I think he's hoping to run into Phil's bowl at the front
I think
and spit the green out.
Spit the green out, yes, I think so. With the weight he had on that, was he was looking for a target somewhere.
Let's go on to out.
From what we're seeing at the moment, Michael, that green is definitely changing a fraction.
Yes.
Didn't get the chocolates with this one, Fergie. So Ingham, slowly but surely.
One more.
One more. So 12-18 after 15 ends. So the game's up for grabs.
Now it's a matter of who's going to hold the nerve.
Well, we know Frank will. We know Phil will.
Phil's played plenty of Dunn Cups. I'm not sure that he's ever skipped one.
I can't recall.
As a starting skip.
No, because Frank skipped last year.
Frank skipped for a number of years, and before that, Ren Cantatori.
Always Ren. Yeah. Yeah, this could well be Phil's first year as skip of the Dunn Cup. He's played in a few.
And I believe he skipped district teams.
Yep. And he always skips in pennants for Ingham.
Yeah. So he's an experienced skip.
Oh, yeah.
And a very, very good bowler. Robbie's putting on the Ritz.
Where's the lollies, Robbie? Oh, okay.
Didn't the commentary team get a show bag from Muddy?
No, we didn't get. We didn't get the show bag.
Thanks to Muddy and his mum and family, and we all the teams got a show bag of lollies and bits and pieces. So it's very, very nice. Thank you very much. So just got a score update here from Ross Cribben. 15 ends, Jubilee are up 27-4. So very pleasant. We don't have to watch Wangaratta run around without their shorts on.
That's right. Just by way of explanation, we keep referring to Muddy. Now, Muddy is actually Glenn Atfield, who is the president of Katharinga Rhinos, and he's also the district games chairman, match chairman, and also operates Muddy's Kitchen at the club here. So he's well and truly booked up for the weekend. Okay, two nice bowls there to Jimmy Seymour. I can pretty much guarantee they won't stay there by the time Phil gets to the mat. Jason's first bowl. Nice weight. Very well weighted. Thanks, Fergie. Suddenly realised where he was. Either that or Robbie's been out there with a big stick.
So for us that up here in the north where we don't have a lot of live streaming happening, it's a new sensation having to keep out of the way of the camera.
Yeah, we have to educate our bowlers nearly every end. So THURINGOWA currently holding 3 shots. It's Jason's second bowl, which is going to change that all around.
Should come right in on the bowl.
Beautiful bowl at Jason. Yep, great bowl.
Yep.
He's playing exceptionally well. He's
for a new bowler to come in and play as well as he is excellent.
He's basically setting it up for Phil.
I didn't see the early ends. How did he go early?
Well, we didn't see too much of the early ends either, Michael, because we were trying to get the live stream up.
I'm just wondering if that's the bit that's got Ingham back into it.
Could well be.
One of the huge parts, if you're behind and you're trying to catch up, you've got to get bowls from your lead or your second into the head to do things, or else there's no way you can catch up.
Well, from what Phil just did then, I wouldn't mind betting that Ingham is still 1 down. As close
He signalled one up.
He did signal one up?
Yeah.
You're looking round the corner out the door again, are you?
No. When he was...
Okay. Nice bowl there from Frank.
Sorry. Okay, so that would appear that Frank's holding shot there.
Looks like it. It's only one.
And moved Jason's bowl into a really good catching position.
Yeah. Okay, see what happens here.
These are going to be the tricky shots.
Yes.
Playing that
weight.
Couple of yards on.
Yep.
Because they tend to hold a little bit more than what you would expect from just over the draw.
That's right. And that little walk we've got
may also come into play.
It'll come into play because it'll be in the back of their minds all the time.
But that's back closer to the red bowl of Peter Martin's.
That's right.
Well, the one we saw before is it's a good spot to finish, Frank.
Handy for Phil there to use, if he so wishes. This is going to be a bit tight, although he's got the right weight.
Might be 2 shots to Ingham now.
Yeah, could have finished up 2 down there.
You've got to think the Red's THURINGOWA's closest at the moment. So it would appear to be 2 inside that.
Ooh, that's interesting because... Yeah,
I think it's just.
I wouldn't be dismissing that bowl of Peter Martin's there. Thanks, Robbie. I was only joking before. Yeah, the bowl's done. Yep.
We just had a visit from Thomas Garati. Skip from Noola. He should be down there concentrating on his game.
That's right. Instead of socialising around the green. Okay, Phil's first bowl has had at this stage had no effect on the end. Fergie.
That could have done a lot of damage very easily.
Yes. he could have spat that sideways onto the kitty, which then would have pushed the kitty over towards all Ingham's bowls. Frank's saying just draw it. Yogi, good morning. It's still morning here.
Oh, he must be down the southeast.
It must be down the southeast. You've got a different time zone down there.
Everything else is different down there.
It is a magnificent day, Yogi. Just a slight little bit of chill in the breeze. It's only a breeze. It's not a wind or anything. Yogi's a past member of THURINGOWA. Knows the green, well, knows the club well. But yes, it is an absolutely glorious day.
I think Ken just indicated 2 shots down.
In fact, I'm pretty sure that Yogi
One was in the team that won Dunn Cup
was
and won
in the team that won the Dunn Cup back in 2013. I'm sure he was.
Yes. Played at THURINGOWA.
That's correct, yeah. Yogi, you know all about the Dunn Cup and what it's all about?
No, it wasn't. I think it was only one again.
Yep. Oh, that's
By the look of that measure, it didn't get in.
So that will take INGHAM on to 13, THURINGOWA 18 after 16 ends. 5 ends to go. So Joey DeBella is leading off for INGHAM this end.
Gone a little bit longer.
If we can get it panned down a little bit, Robbie. Thanks kindly.
So is this the 5 or 6 ends, I think, that INGHAM have just won?
Yeah.
1 shot every end for the last 5 or 6 ends.
Well, they've got 5 ends to go, 1 each end, and we'll be into a tied game. Extra ends playoff. Yeah, start to Joey there. Jimmy Seymour's first bowl.
That one just tracked.
Tracked off
out on that
fraction. Yeah.
dark spot.
Yeah, could be good enough for a shot at the moment. Very smooth delivery there from Joey DeBella.
This could be Joey's first Dunn Cup too, I think.
Oh, I would think so.
Just two new players.
He definitely
First
didn't
up
play
players.
it last year.
No. 2 first up players.
Yep.
In the team.
Jimmy Seymour's second bowl.
Finished Jack High.
Yep. Oh, it's just past Jack High. Yep. Jason on the mat for his first bowl as the second on this end. We invariably...
Great use of the facility there by Jason.
Saw it, but didn't quite believe it. Anyway, first round of the Dunn Cup is usually always regarded as a settling in by the players. And the long-standing foes always hope that they don't strike one of their teams that they have to have a major struggle with.
It's amazing some of the rivalries that have developed over the years, and
Very much
some
so.
of the results that are achieved
Yeah.
Between some of the what might be classed as lesser clubs and against the bigger clubs. Some for some reason seem to have a way of winning games that they're not expected to win.
Well, invariably, for those that have watched previous Dunn Cups on the live stream, we keep referring to the Dunn Cup gremlin. And as much as it sounds silly, it invariably has a major outcome over this weekend. Because sometimes, at some stage over the weekend, it's going to raise its head and say,
there'll
gotcha.
be an upset defeat of a team that's sitting in a situation that you'd expect them to go through to the final, or at least have some part in it, and then all of a sudden they're not there.
Not there, that's right.
And as Ron said, it happens all the time.
Yep.
So,
There's
some scores here from Ross Cribben.
Always
People
a
can
sting
read
in the
them.
tail.
Cuthuringa up 13 to Home Hill 12 after 14
tight
ends.
one.
South Maggie Island. Not sure there. Maggie Island 9, Bowen 17 after 11 ends.
Well, Bowen were runners up last year.
And Suburban 17, Alligator Creek 8 after 15 ends. And South Townsville. Oh, that's where the South came from.
Yep.
South Townsville 17 to Noola 12 after 15 ends.
Okay, so
Some interesting games
interesting
there.
games. That was
Frank.
Frank on the mat with. It was
Possibly 2 shots there to Ingham now.
I'd say so. Could be 3. Could be 3 there, Michael. Is that a Thuringowa bowl in the front of?
I think
Jimmy's?
that's Thuringowa.
Could be.
Ingham have got the yellow and green.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh.
Excuse me.
That was that was the gremlin just
Jumped out of the green and grabbed it.
just gargling his throat. Rossi Cribben, fat fingers. Not too
For the typo.
Oh, okay.
For finding the South in the wrong spot. It's all good, Ross. We appreciate you putting those scores up. It's very handy having people who are here watching able to do that for us. Okay, so we've got Phil Kite looking for a delicate bowl here.
Frank's
telling him to
slow
slow
up.
down.
You don't want to do that. And he's got away with. Ooh. Yes, he's got
yes.
away with it. 2 shots, I'd say.
They're Joey's, aren't they? Both of those bowls are Joey DeBellas.
No, just behind Phil there, or in front of Phil. That's a Thuringowa bowl.
Sorry, yes.
But the other 2 are both
Yep.
Ingham's.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bowls out there on the green that are
Similar.
almost from the cameras are the same colour. Very similar colours.
Okay, so that was Fergie's first bowl.
No, it is Joey DeBellas. Frank's just called it for 4 or 5.
Not
So that must be the little circle of Ingham. That sticker.
Yeah, because those 2 blue bowls look exactly the same, apart from the sticker on it. So that green bowl of
Jason's
is
in.
must be in as well.
And then the one to its right, and it's a measure between the one to its right and the one to its left.
Yeah.
That's an Ingham one to the right that
Yep,
Frank thinks
that's
could be in.
definitely 3 shots to Ingham there at the moment.
4. with the green one.
Well, I'll say definitely 3. I think they'd be measuring.
Well, Frank's calling for a measure for 5th.
Yeah, okay.
So I'd take his word. So interesting here. What's Phil going to do? He's coming in that side again, where he just bowled, so he already knows the track there.
If he
Yeah,
holds
you've
his
got to think
line,
this is in for
he's
another
got
counter.
one. Great bowl. Well
So-
played. So Fergie's in trouble now.
Fergie's got to work out what he's going to do.
This could be a...
He's looking backhand at the moment. Well, look at that. The
He could be 6 down here. Could be.
yeah, five and a measure at the moment. The hard part is if he only tries to draw, his best, he could still be 4 down. A really good draw here could still leave him 4 down.
Yep. No, that bowl's on the other rink, so that's not... Oh, this is a bit different. It's not going to come
It's
back.
just going to hold.
It's going to hold all the way down.
Mm.
So
Now we'll find out.
Ingham dropped to 6 early in the game.
Oh, okay.
There's 4.
So there's 4.
There's 5. Frank's going to definitely measure now.
6 here will put Ingham in front for the first time in the game.
Yep. Five. Is that the call?
No, at the moment, Kenny's saying 5.
Frank's not convinced. I'd say that's the next shot. 5. Okay. Right.
So,
After
17 ends,
Yep.
it now becomes 18 all. 4 ends to go.
And Ingham are definitely on a roll.
Good curl earlier, Irene Cheesley. Slowly but surely.
Yes.
Nearly an hour ago.
Yeah, hour ago. That's right. Robbie is about to give us a rundown across the board. So your eyes are better than mine, Michael.
Zooming in here, we've got Cutharinga 13, Home Hill 16 after 16 ends,
Okay.
with Cutharinga being the current holders. On the next rank, we've got Noola 12, South Townsville 18 after 16 ends. We've got Collinsville 11, Guru 15 after 17 ends. Magnetic Island 9, Bowen 20. So Bowen have just skipped away a little bit in the last few ends. 13 ends played there. That game's going slow. Then we have Wangaratta have gone to 6, Jubilee 27 after 17 ends.
No great surprises there.
Alligator Creek 10 and Suburban 18 after 17 ends.
Okay.
I think that's the last game. What would be good if there's anyone over at South Townsville that can get some information back to us in the comments about the scores over there, please.
Okay, and on our rink here, we've got THURINGOWA and Ingham, 18 all, on their 18th end now. THURINGOWA holding the shot with Jimmy Seymour's toucher.
One of the tricky parts of sitting in this bit, the people sitting here are going to get the barbecue smell.
That's right.
All weekend. Currently sausages and onions on the barbie.
Yes. Well, Peter is good weight there. It's Jack high.
Would be close to second.
It certainly looks like it when you look at the two screens.
This is a better bowl from Jason.
Just ran through a bit. But as a second, you're better having your bowl behind than in front.
Mm-hmm.
As we all know. Okay.
Peter's put two perfect weighted bowls down there.
Both Jack high, basically. Yeah, I don't think that second bowl of Peters is in the count, though. I think Joey's back bowl here is third shot.
Frank's got second
Frank's
there,
got
I'd say.
second now. It seems very, very simple. Okay, Kenny Day with his first bowl. Coming in nicely. Great bowl there from Kenny, just ran through a fraction, but he's going to roll over, so I would say that's THURINGOWA with two shots. Great bowl there from Kenny Day.
So that little rude interruption on my phone was Mark DiFrancesi. And we have Charters Towers 14 over Air 13 after 17 ends over at South Townsville on the 8th rink.
That's an interesting score too. Frank's dropped it short. Yes, Robbie, there's only one game over at South Townsville all weekend. So all these teams will be doing a little bit of travelling backwards and forwards. South Townsville's Bowls Club is about 10, 12, it depends on the traffic, of course, 10 or 12 minutes away from here.
Yep. 4 or 5 Ks probably.
They're playing on the same sort of surface. The only difference over there is under the duty of care, South Townsville have retractable shades, so they'll be using them over there, whereas we have no retractable shades here. So it looks very much like, I'm not too sure now when you look at it from the other angle.
So THURINGOWA have definitely got shot.
Yeah, I'm half betting that Ingham have got second shot.
THURINGOWA. These are both Ingham, I reckon. I think that's Frank's bowl there. Those two.
No, that's a black and white sticker. That's Kenny Day's, I think you'll find.
Or maybe you got past Frank's there. That's a bit bluer.
Yeah.
THURINGOWA might have two.
They might have, but I would say they've only got one. I don't think this is going to do anything unless he gets... No. Okay, what are we going to get from Fergie?
He missed his line.
Totally.
Unless he's looking to go back. You might be putting a back bowl in. So maybe he didn't miss his line. That
Yeah.
might have been an early call.
Well, yeah.
There's probably not a lot of point in
If it was
coming into the
if
head.
it was Frank about to get on the mat, I'd say yes. Yeah. Well, there's not a lot of point in him trying to come in and give it away. We know Phil can do it.
So Frank, it looks like Frank's only after a metre or so of weight.
He wants to pop that kitty sideways.
No, that's not a metre or two of weight. That's full weight. And will it get back to Jason's? Past Jason's. To
1, 2.
THURINGOWA.
There's at least one.
Then is Green the next.
I'd say so. At least one. It could be two. To INGHAM. Well played bowl there by Phil.
That's his last couple of ends. He's done some big conversions.
That's right. Well, we know he's got the ability to do that. We've seen it over the years. He's always been one of the strong players in the district.
Anointed very early on by Ren Cantatori as the best player in the district.
Yep.
It was about 15 or 16 years ago, I think it was at a tournament up in INGHAM where he very proudly made that comment.
Yeah. Then
And Phil's done a lot of work, less bowls, more work since then, and
I think is he retired now?
semi-retired.
Semi-retired.
So he's playing a bit more bowls.
Didn't help the cause at all. Okay, we'll have to keep a close eye on what they're doing here.
Frank's holding up 4 at least.
So THURINGOWA will be saying at this stage, "Oh boys, this is one that can get away from us." Was it 4?
Trying to attract Fergie's attention.
Okay, we're just... Okay, yes, we've just confirmed that was 4. So INGHAM are now 22 to THURINGOWA 18 after 18 ends. It's Joey's first bowl. Wouldn't be overly upset if you were Skip seeing that. Jimmy Seymour with his first bowl.
Just running away on the on the turn,
Just
on the draw. Hi Tracy. My comment was that they won at THURINGOWA, not that they beat THURINGOWA. But yes, they beat Suburban.
great bowl there from Joey DeBella. Would make Phil very happy.
At least my intended comment was it was played at THURINGOWA. Quite possibly said the other, but...
Nice reply there from Jimmy.
This is a situation, Joey's just put in a great bowl when you've just hit the front and are looking to close out a game, that's not much better bowl than that.
Not. There was a little bit of frustration from Fergie there. He's got a duck underneath it.
It's the wider side. There's definitely good turn there. And the tricky part now, with only a couple of ends left, THURINGOWA have to go hunting this, and if they miss it,
That's right.
that's where they risk dropping more shots. Whereas INGHAM can fairly safely play positional bowls.
Okay, Peter's got to play the same type of shot, but better. He's put a lot more
good
weight
track.
on it, and he's
Onto that other bowl. Oh, so good second
so
again,
yeah,
and one behind.
hasn't done any damage there. Okay. Nice bowl there from Frank, giving him some protection. So INGHAM still holding one shot. Kenny Day with his first bowl. He's got a good run on this. Okay, it's a good second shot. There's Frank, I suspect, is going to come for cover around the back. Not with that weight, he won't, but anyway. Still in a handy position there, because that kitty's got to, it depends on if that front bowl gets hit. It could spit across to INGHAM as well.
Yep, fairly handy position.
It's Kenny Day's second bowl.
Oh.
Great try. Oh. Great effort.
So often when you're chasing, those little bits just don't work.
That's right. Right, so much discussion between the thirds and the skips at the moment. Well, it's going to depend on whether that front bowl, which is, I assume, would be second shot.
Yeah, based on those shadows, there's not much gap there.
No, if it gets hit, where that kitty will go, because it'll. Yeah,
there you go.
It's definitely
good guess, Michael.
Definitely second shot.
Yep.
Phil's definitely going for cover. He's comfortable with one.
The other problem here, depending on how Fergie hits that front bowl, he could spit the INGHAM bowl out of the head.
Well, he could. And he's not going to with
Not
this.
with that.
That's going to cut
a little
away.
bit tight. But there's room for it to disappear past. Yep.
Yep.
Just draw in under the red. Frank wants.
Frank's saying just draw another one. So he's obviously happy that they've got enough protection at the back. He's got a fair looking bowl here. Ooh, okay.
Okay, he's just widened the target a little bit.
Yep.
Just changing the thinking.
Too wide.
Because Ingham have got a bowl there. So he's just trying to just overdraw onto it.
And he's not going to, sadly.
Great try.
Was a good effort there. Just the one.
1 to Ingham.
Takes them to 23. THURINGOWA 18 after 19 ends. So 2 ends to go, and THURINGOWA have got their work cut out for them. Ingham would be feeling quite comfortable at this stage, I'd imagine.
All right, well, end of this game will see me out of the commentary box. And
you'll have to go out
of official duties for the rest of the weekend. Until after the final. And
good luck with your bowling, Michael.
Thank you. Good luck with the commentary.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Thanks to Coast-Tweed for the services they provide for us with the live streaming. It's a very professional unit.
They love coming up here. Yeah, good start there from Joey.
Not sure what this is. I can work it out. Hang on, I'll tell you in a second. It's this is, I think, the 7th year. We missed one. We couldn't get enough internet service at Alligator Creek. But so 6 years they've been coming up doing this, starting at South Townsville.
Yeah.
And 2020 they missed as well.
That's right.
Up in Ingham, that's right. That's not good enough, Robbie. You should have come up to Ingham. You would have enjoyed the food up there.
Nothing wrong with the food here in Townsville.
There's just something about it up in Ingham.
Yes.
The homemade style of a lot of the food up there is...
Their chicken spaghetti is something to behold.
It's the last day of every bowls tournament up there seems to be spaghetti and chicken.
Yep. Okay. Ingham holding shot here with Joey's bowl. Possibly about a metre behind.
Jason just looking to get another close one. They're now in a situation... Shots are good. Margin is useful.
Yep.
But in terms of this game, they don't need
to do anything silly. No,
they've just got to keep putting bowls in the head.
Yep, that's it's all about. And
he's done that.
He's done that, exactly. Just watching the body language on Jason, he looks pretty cool, calm and collected.
Yeah, he's pretty confident and calm guy.
Nice bowl there from Peter Martin. Rest the shot off Ingham. Jason's second bowl. He's got a great bowl here. Absolutely.
That's an excellent bowl.
Bomb of a bowl. An absolute bomb of a bowl. Peter Martin's second bowl, and he's
not
doing
bad
everything
either.
he can to take it off them.
Just pulled up short.
Yep. He could be a foot short or so there.
Yeah. the indications there was about 18 inches between the two reds.
Yeah.
There must be a reasonable gap for Phil to call Frank in there.
Yes, in the case of Ingham, this is possibly a little bit of the changing of the guard from the regular players we've seen trotted out for Ingham and the positions they've played in. So Frank's played a lot of Fergie dropped his shoulders. So.
Nearly dropped his shorts. That was, yeah. That was an unfortunate result out of that. Yes, well, since the retirement of Ren Cantatori from the Dunn Cup scene, the main players have been Frank and Phil and Brad Wilson and Jeff Crossman.
Yes, that's right.
In some combination, with a few visits in there from Glenn Teresi and others from time to time, but this is the first time there's been a couple of new players come in. And Ken Day's just got shot. Well, look at that.
I'd say so.
It's a very small shadow between his bowl and the jack.
Well, this could be interesting actually, because any touch on that green bowl could give THURINGOWA 3 shots.
That bowl at the back that we can see is an Ingham bowl.
Yep. The one, the dark blue, or the blue one in front is THURINGOWA.
It's THURINGOWA's.
And then you've got...
So if there's significant movement of the jack, Ingham have probably got it.
Yep.
But will Phil come in with much weight?
I don't think he'll do anything silly at this stage of the game. Just trying to... He's just going to cut across.
Yeah, it's only just over draw weight. Because as you said, he doesn't want to pop the green one out.
No.
Comes in at that weight, he sits on the green. It might pop the green, but his will stay.
If that green goes out, THURINGOWA could have
4
or 5 even,
yeah.
maybe 5. Fergie's too wide, he's not going to do any damage with that.
So the ideal here is play that same weight.
Which he's done. Great bowl here. Well, that's closed the door for THURINGOWA.
You'd think their best here now is one shot.
I'd say so.
Unless they can manufacture something. Have they got the very best back?
I don't think so. Well, there's two of Peter.
Yes.
Oh, yes, he has got the very best back.
But they're already holding one, so there's no point.
No point in just doing
There's
that.
no next shot from Phil Kite, so
No.
a weighted shot's not going to help. They're just going to take it.
Yep.
He doesn't want to give it
Doesn't want to
away.
give it away. So 19-23 on 20 ends.
4 shots on the last end is better than giving it away.
Yeah.
Better than chasing 6 or 7.
And the way Ingham have been playing this back half of the game, it could be too high a wall to climb for THURINGOWA.
So if we quickly go across the scoreboards. Robbie's going to
Robbie's
working on getting up the scoreboards to let us know where everybody's up to. We've had a couple of games finish. I can see one there is Cutharinga Home Hill is 15 to Cutharinga and 16 to Home Hill after 18 ends, which is an interesting situation for
great start here from Jimmy Seymour.
For last year's winners, Cutharinga.
They've taken their...
So someone's finished a game there by the look of it, or playing their last end, one or the other. Next one, that's Gary sitting in the middle of it. Magnetic Island 10, Bowen 21 with 6 ends to go.
Nice bowl coming in here from Joey too. Just ran through at the back a fraction.
So that one is Wangaratta 9, Jubilee 32. 1 end to go. And you've probably got zeros all the way, rest of the way across there, Robbie.
Good start there from Jimmy Seymour.
Yeah, well bowled, Jimmy.
No, a few of them have finished, Robbie, so... Yep, that's right. Yep. And you usually find it's the second that's standing in front of the boards.
In this case, it's the third.
It's the case, it's the third? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But typical, it's Mark Hawkins.
That was a nice bowl there from Joey.
South Townsville at 19. So, what's that? 5 shots difference. South Townsville are up with 3 ends to go.
Maybe, maybe not. No, don't think so.
Well, maybe 2 down there, Phil Kite indicated.
Okay.
So he's just looking for another bowl in there. At the stage, Ingham have only got 1 bowl in the head.
There's Jason bowling. He's...
Good morning, Mark Rossington from the Philippines. We are getting a very wide international coverage.
Okay, Peter Day with his second bowl. Okay, just tipped that back bowl of Joey's and spat off to the side. Frank Pallanza with his...
Jason Harrop.
Oh, Jason's, that's right.
Similar to his first bowl. Now we've got Ken Day playing his first bowl. Last end.
I don't think Kenny Day's bowl will come back that far. Now we've got Frank on the mat. And he's pulling up short as well.
I'd almost be inclined to play for Ingham, play forehand and fill that hole up. And doesn't give Thuringowa many options.
That's right.
Just about completely close the game out.
Their only option at the moment is to try and draw to add to
And if you
the count.
if you put a bowl in that hole,
That's right.
It takes that option
takes
off.
the draw away from him.
It is Cyclone. No. That's usually his wind-up.
Yep.
Might mean he was just concentrating extra hard here.
Well, I think INGHAM would be quite happy with the situation of the head there at the moment.
Yep.
Really hard to see how THURINGOWA can pick up a 4.
Well, Fergie's got to do that. Fergie's got to draw 2 inside the red.
Yep.
And Phil Kite's got to miss both of his. And I think what Phil was trying to do is if he could trail that 2 foot on the backhand, that would also close the game out.
So here we go with Fergie's first bowl. What is he hunting for?
Oh, he was after the back bowl.
Back bowl, yes. He didn't want both of them.
Well,
so that was a...
I'm going to step out, gentlemen. Ron,
yes, you need to go and have
camera
something
people,
to eat.
thank you very much.
No, thank you, Michael.
Good luck to all the bowlers, and I hope the weekend goes really well for everyone.
Yep, and good luck to you this afternoon.
Thank you. I'll see you all from the green.
Yes. Right. I think Phil will be quite happy just to let them have one here. So, situation is, possible 3, possible 4 to THURINGOWA. Right, Charters Towers 1, 17-15 over at South Townsville this morning. Right, Fergie's got 1 bowl to play. We couldn't hear the discussion there. Fergie doesn't want any distraction. Seems to be a slight issue with the rink next door. But okay. Last bowl from Fergie, unless there's a major change in the score. Oh, no, I don't think that's going to be a counter. Certainly looks like there's 4 shots to THURINGOWA there. A mile of room for it to be drawn to cut it back. Nice bowl here from Phil. Is this going to make... That could have done the damage. Yep. Okay, that was only 1 to THURINGOWA. So Ingham have won their first game, 23 to 20 over THURINGOWA. And at this stage, while we're sorting out some of the scores from the other games, I'd like to give a shout out for our sponsors: Gallivanter Travel, Hutchison Builders, Lexmar Training, Signs of Excellence, Cutharinga Rhinos, Muddy's Kitchen, and the North Queensland District Men's Bowls Association. Again, we thank you for your sponsorship and your assistance in us getting this tournament underway as well as we have. Okay. So that will give you an indication of what we're facing, the teams in each section, and the previous winners over the course of the last 83 years. Right, that's the end of the first round. We'll be taking a break for a little while. The next game up on the live stream rink is Bowen playing McNaid. Bowen were the runners-up last year. They've had a fairly substantial win this morning. So we're looking forward to a fairly good game this afternoon. Again, thank you to all our sponsors. We appreciate it, and we'll look forward to being back with you for the start of the next game.